Hi everybody, my name is Elaine Pauley. Thank you for coming and watching my women's wellness webinar today. We are going to call some of our practitioners who have good stories to tell, who have good information, and we're going to kind of let them tell you their stories, and you guys can ask questions. If you have a question, then you can put it in the comment section right below, and our intern will lovingly reply and will relay the information over to me so that we can answer the questions for you. Unfortunately, my dad isn't here today. It's just me, so bear with me because I'm going to try to work the electronics that he always messes up too. So we're gonna give it a go. The first person we're gonna call today is Terri Studer, and I hope I said it right. We'll ask her, and she's gonna tell us a little bit about her business and how she is enjoying her Magna. So dial. Let's see if this works. If it does, I'm really proud of myself.
Hello.
Hi, Terri.
Yes.
Hey, it's Elaine from Magna. How are you?
Hi, Elaine. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. So thank you for agreeing to be on the webinar today.
Oh, gosh, thanks for having me.
So tell me your story. Tell me a little bit. What machine do you have? And do you have a business? What's your story?
Well, we actually now have two machines, but I'll back up a bit and kind of tell the story. And I know some people have heard this before, but my sister actually first experienced or came across the Magna Wave therapy at this was several years ago, at the AQHA, the World Show out in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And they were with the trainer out there, and the Magna Wave practitioner came through. Trainer signed all the horses up for treatment. And if you know these multi-day horse shows, the horses just wears them out. So this was probably 3-4 days into the show, and the practitioner came through, treated all the horses. The horses were like day one the next morning, so that was great. But this practitioner actually was talking to my sister and saw my niece, who was there with her, and saw my niece limping.
Okay.
And he said, hey, let me treat, he had asked her what's going on, and she said, I have just tremendous pain in my feet and my ankles and my knees, basically all her joints. She was born with some congenital issues and basically she just lived with just a crazy amount of pain pretty much every day. So they actually got into horses because that's something that she could do, and get along pretty well and enjoy. So, But this practitioner, he had mentioned to her, let me go ahead and treat your feet. And she said, we've done all these things. We've tried TENS unit. We've tried all these other things, and just nothing really works. And he said, well, let me try anyways. There's no harm in trying. So she sat down. He treated her feet. And my sister had said to her, this is great, but and things kind of help. And maybe for, 15, 20 minutes, it feels a little better. And then, the discomfort comes back. So she had said to her daughter, she said, you know what, just let me know, when the pain comes back. And my niece said, okay. Well, later that day then, I think even like at dinner that night, they were talking, and she said, oh, I forgot to ask you when your feet started hurting again. And my niece said, Mom, they don't hurt.
Oh, my gosh. How old was your niece?
They were just... she's actually 23 now.
Okay.
I think she was probably about 17, I think, maybe 18 at the time, something like that. So,
okay. Wow.
They were just so impressed with it, really pleased. And I know you might know this, but my sister Tammy and I both run and do some kickboxing and some other things so stay pretty active. But at 55, things don't, you can keep moving, but things tend to hurt a little bit more for it. So we both have a lot of knee issues. She especially does. And so she had, I think, rented initially a machine from you all to treat her knees.
Yeah, I remember.
And was really pleased. Yeah, she was really pleased with it. So she let me try it out too, and like, wow, this is great. So ended up purchasing the machine, bought the Maya in the travel case because she does travel quite a bit, and it's really nice. She can take it with her.
Right.
So, but with the machine, you all offer the training and the certification. So she mentioned to me, hey, your background's in veterinary medicine, which it was for about 20-some years. So a little bit mostly small animal and a little bit large animal too. But she said, you want to come down and get trained and certified on this? And I said, sure, that's fantastic. So we came down, worked with Aaron down there, and just learned so much, and went through the certification process, and decided, for me, I'm like, this is something I can really do again, and just really enjoy being in the barn and working with horses again, and and being able to do this. So I started it as kind of slowly, but as a business. Yeah. And as I got busier with that, of course, Tammy's still traveling. So then I went, you know what? We need a second machine.
I remember having this phone conversation with you, actually.
Yep. So, you and I talked on the phone. So we actually purchased another machine, bought the Semi, which is really nice because it's set up, to me, that machine, just the power level, the attachments, everything. It's just set up for horses.
It really is.
Right.
People just don't think about it. They think they need the big machine, but that's just, the big machine is great, and it can do a lot with the hooves and the legs. But for the horses, the Semi works great. It really does for the body of a horse.
Mm-hmm. And it's really nice. Like I said, I think the machine, the power levels, everything is just set up. The attachments, wow. What a great, just a really nice package that comes with all of that. So then that's what I did, and started getting busier. And that machine, too, is so portable. It's kind of nice that I can just pretty much take it with me wherever I go.
Yeah, it's 8 pounds.
So I started working a lot more with horses. And the really nice thing for me was I was kind of looking for something to get back into veterinary medicine, or maybe, work back that direction. And to me, this machine, to be able to do this, and walk into a barn, and I'm not just walking in with what I know, and my knowledge and my experience. I've got behind me, you all in the corporate office and the online resources, or even a phone call, you or Aaron or somebody, if I come across something that I don't, not quite sure of on my own. But not only you all, but the whole online, all the resources and all the other practitioners, the veterinarians and the chiropractors and the massage therapists and trainers and everybody else, and their experience and their knowledge. And so it's really neat to be able to walk into the barn, no matter what I'm coming across, and know that if I don't right away know the answer myself, I've got all these resources behind me. So it really a confidence. It gives me a lot of confidence in treating horses, and small animals too, and that I've got all of that behind me, and so that's great.
That's wonderful. That makes me very happy to hear. We've worked really hard to make it a really encompassing program with the training, and of course it can always get better, and it's always growing, but I think that getting that confidence, buying a machine is one thing, because PEMF is great and there's a lot of different machines out there, but the confidence that you're given when you know what you're doing and you have that support is kind of unmeasurable whenever you're trying to grow your business. Now, you said your business started out slow. How long, how did it go? How's it going now? What's your favorite part about doing the Magna Wave?
Oh, gosh. You know what? I said slow, and that's really only because that's how I sort of chose to do it.
Yeah.
I think I could have jumped right in and been really busy from day one. But, I think, oh, gosh, the most I've done in one day, I had one training barn, where I actually did 9 horses.
Wow.
Yeah, 9 horses, the riding instructor and the barn owner.
You were exhausted after that.
Well, and you know what? It's so fun to do it like that, because I treated the first horse, and then I go on in the second and the third horse, and I'm on about the third horse. Well, the owner of the first horse comes walking back through. She had gone off to ride, to work the horse afterwards, and she comes back through the barn, and she is grinning so big. She said, "This horse is so much looser in his back. I think his stride in the back end is probably another 6-8 inches beyond what it was yesterday." And she said, so I'm hearing these reports as I go, and the trainer's coming back and saying, "Oh my gosh, yeah, this horse is moving really well. This is great. This is great." So it was a long day, but it was a fun day too.
It's rewarding. And it really is. It's rewarding.
It is. And I think every practitioner would agree with me. When you get these, talk about rewards, and you get these text messages or emails or phone calls where, the owner says, "Oh my gosh, he's doing so much better," or, but my favorite, I've got a couple of these where these horses were on stall rest, one of them for almost a year.
Wow.
Before I started working with the horse. And she just sent me a text last night and said the veterinarian cleared the horse for her to start riding again.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Oh my gosh! And I saved it. I screenshotted the messages, and I sent back, I think, like a bunch of smiley faces. And she said, "I could not have done this without you."
Oh my gosh!
Holy smokes! You know, to be able, what's the Churchill quote where he says, from what we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And
yes.
To me, that's what it is. There's no better reward than to be able to make a living doing something, knowing that you're making a difference. It's to me, I feel like I've just kind of come home again to what I was really meant to be doing.
Oh, Terri, that's wonderful.
If we had bought the machine originally with Tammy's intention, for Katie, it's just life changing for her to relieve her pain. The doctors had said, here are your options: distraction or narcotics. And my sister said, we're not doing either one of those.
No.
This is. And for me, or for Tammy, with knees, especially this kind of weather, you get up and you're like, oh boy, I'm kind of creaky.
Yes.
So if somebody were to buy the machine just for themselves, it's life changing. If you buy it for yourself and your family and friends and acquaintances to relieve their pain and to not have to rely on drugs for feeling better, then it's life changing.
Yeah.
But if you take it as a business, and like I've been able to do, and go into these barns, and I thoroughly enjoy when you see the horses release and you see the horses enjoying it, but then hearing back from the owners and the trainers and the barn owners who are saying, this is amazing. We put these horses back into what we wanted to do with them. Then you're giving somebody back that part of their life too, and it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you. I think the most amazing thing is with horses, with people, you have a little bit of that same situation that your sister was when her daughter was getting treated. Was, well, it might work for a minute. They have these preconceived notions. With horses, there is no placebo effect. So I think that's why it has grown so quickly in horses, because the machine was originally developed for humans, but humans just don't believe in things, and they almost will themselves not to. And then if they are able to treat a horse and you see those differences so quickly, it then also changes the mind of the riders and the owners who see those type of results, because they just can't believe it that their horse is making such those great strides so quickly. So that's wonderful. I really appreciate your call, Terri. What do you need for your business? Do you need sweatshirts? Because I want to send you something for calling. Let's call you today. Do you want what do you want? Do you want some? I got some really cool vests and sweatshirts. We can send you some mugs. What are you looking for? What do you need?
You know what? I love all of it.
Yeah.
We jokingly say I'll run 26.2 miles for a pencil. So I like swag. Probably vests. I've got a couple of sweatshirts and the hoodies everybody always loves, but vests, I think.
Okay.
So surprise me.
All right. We will send it your way, Terri, and I really appreciate your phone call. You have a nice day.
Thanks, Elaine. Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye. Okay, great. That worked. Yes. Okay, Terri's wonderful, and it's great that they also. So Terri had the Maya machine, and then she also has the Semi machine. The Maya is a digital machine. The Semi is a digital machine, and the Semi is about half the power of the Maya. So you can, and about a little bit less than half the price. So you can really do a lot with both of those machines. So that's a good thing to know, that she's got this larger machine, but she can also run her business with the Semi. So our next caller is MaryAnne, I believe. So we're going to give MaryAnne a call. We're going to hope that I don't break this. Let's see. All right. I believe MaryAnne is a breast cancer survivor.
Hello.
Hi, MaryAnne.
Yes.
It's Elaine from Magna. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So thank you for letting us call you today. I just want to get an idea of what's your story, what's your MagnaWave journey been like, and what machine do you have?
I have the Pro.
Okay, the Pulse Pro?
Yep.
Okay. All right, that's great. Do you run a business? Are you treating yourself and your family?
Yes.
Okay.
Myself.
You're treating yourself. So why did you buy the machine? Why did you decide to buy it, and what has been your most amazing result that you've seen from it, or your best success?
Well, when I had breast cancer, so I have lymphedema from breast cancer.
Okay.
And the pain and swelling and everything from lymphedema, which I got from a result. The reason I got lymphedema was because of I got an infection after the surgery.
Okay.
And the lymphedema came after that. So there's a lot of pain and swelling. Depression, anxiety, all this stuff. So I went through the regular treatments, protocols and medicine, and I would try anything.
Right.
Holistic, any of that. So the doctor the physical therapist that I see, she got Magna, and I said, well, okay, I'll try it. Skeptic that I am.
Yeah.
But after like 4 times, it's like, something's different.
Really? Okay.
Something's like really different. So I just kept going, and my pain level had decreased. Swelling decreased.
That's wonderful.
I wasn't having anxiety attacks. I wasn't having, the depression was very less. And I said, I got to get one of these.
Right.
So the opportunity came up, and I got one, and I use it every day, and I am pain-free.
Really? That's wonderful. Now, where do you treat? Do you treat like your upper like breast area? Do you treat right on your head for the depression? How do you treat those areas?
Okay, so I hit the lymph. There's a concentration of lymph in certain places.
Okay.
And I hit those.
So the lymph nodes. Okay.
Yes, and surprisingly, people don't know that they're in your stomach. That's where I have a lot of swelling. Like, I'll give you an example. Last night, I went home, and I got on the scale, and I was 5 pounds heavier than I was like 4 or 5 hours before.
Wow.
And so I put I used the small coil, the butterfly, and I put that right underneath my sternum, and I just sit there and just, whatever frequency, whatever intensity I can tolerate, or back it off. It's different.
Whatever's comfortable for that day, right? So it can vary depending on how you're feeling and what's going on. Yes.
Yes. And within 2 hours, I was down to 5 pounds.
Wow.
It's so amazing. I really can't tell people how amazing this thing is.
I'm so glad that it's helped you.
Oh my gosh. And it's like, why? I don't understand. It's like I had to wait all this time and go through all this stuff before I found this.
Yeah.
I want to reach out to people that really need this.
Yeah.
There are people stuck in their homes with this, with all kinds of different pains.
Yeah, we actually treated a man who couldn't walk. He was in a walker, and he was struggling. He was bedridden for months. He came in here. We treated him for a week and a half, and he was walking on his own again, was able to put jeans on for the first time. And he did the same thing that you did. He bought a machine. And people always say that, like, why don't I know about this if it's so amazing? You don't know about it because people don't believe in things. They don't go outside of their Western medicine, what their doctors had, and it is very, very hard to get people to put their guard down and try something new. And that's doctors too. I mean, it really is.
I agree. And so what my plan is to say, okay, let's try it once and see what happens.
Yes.
Let's just try it once.
Yes.
Well, I did this with my mother. She can't believe it. She has no pain in her back.
Really? How old's your mom?
I can't believe she is 79, and she has lesions on her brain from and she has strokes.
Oh, okay.
Because of that, but she has this pain in her back. She doesn't know they don't know what it's from.
Yeah.
And I said, who cares what it's from? We don't care about that.
Exactly.
We just want it to go away.
Yes.
Let's try this.
Yes.
So I put it on there, and she's like, I don't have any pain. I'm like, yeah, we tried it. And if people would just try it.
Yes.
And that's, you know.
I just want to tattoo that on my forehead. Just try it. Like, stop sitting here giving excuses or saying it's not going to work for me or I've tried everything. Just try it. If you're willing to go into a doctor's office and take medication or get shots in your back or whatever things you're going to do, you have nothing to lose. And most of our practitioners will give you a demo treatment for your first treatment. And you can really just at least feel how good it feels and get some relief. Now, sometimes you do need multiple treatments. Like, in your case, MaryAnne, you're probably going to need to treat forever. I mean, this is something you're going to be doing the rest of your life. But it's like medication. There's medication you get on. You're going to, just because you take one Tylenol doesn't mean your headache's gone forever. So you have to continue to treat some of those things, but at least you don't have those side effects. And your quality, would you say your quality of life is better now?
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, like, I can be out in the world now.
That's wonderful.
Walking around. I'm like, you know, talking to people, just like, hey, you know, you should try this thing, and, you know, why don't you come over? Let's try it, you know, whatever.
Yeah, that's how I was when I started using it. I used to take it to soccer practices, and I'd have all the soccer moms lining up trying to get treated out of my car because I treated one of them, and you know how it is. It's like a flood of people are like, oh my gosh, she feels better. I want to try it. So I really appreciate you calling, MaryAnne. I want to send you something for letting us call you.
Thanks.
Do you want like a sweatshirt, or I have vests, and I have some really cool Yeti-like mugs like this? Something like this. And we have a couple swag things. You want me to just pick it out for you and surprise you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling, MaryAnne.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a nice day.
You too.
Bye-bye. See, that's awesome. I think that's kind of what MaryAnne said was a really good point that we come across a lot of times. I actually went and did treatments today, and a lot of people they're nervous, and they walk up and they'll watch you do it, and they'll say, oh, I don't need to try it, and you have to literally force them down and say, sit down and put it on your knee. And when you do, 9 times out of 10, they're shocked at the difference. So if you're one of those people and you're watching this, or you have a family member, you know, the whole goal of this webinar today is for our practitioners to take their machines to Thanksgiving events so that they can treat their family. We found that if you take the machine and you use it, then more people will know about it. So we have a hashtag. It's hashtag MagnaWaveFamily. All of our practitioners are going to take pictures with their machine and their family in the background. We're giving away an attachment to the practitioner who is chosen randomly from those pictures. So take your machine, go talk to people. Do we have any questions yet? I just don't want to miss. Okay. If you have a question, make sure you write it in the comments down there. I would be happy to answer anybody's questions. We have 2 more people to call today, and we can get any questions that you may have about your business, about your machines, about our machines, treatments, anything like that. I would be happy to discuss with you guys. But first, let's call Brittany Fitzpatrick. I'm really proud of myself. I've managed to work this thing 3 times now, and my dad can only do it twice, and he broke it. So, take that, Pat. I win.
Hello?
Hey, Brittany?
Yes.
Hi, it's Elaine from MagnaWave. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for letting us call you today.
No problem.
So, tell me a little bit about your MagnaWave story. What machine do you have? And are you running a business? What's your, most amazing thing that you've also worked on and been surprised with?
Yes, I'm starting a little business. I mostly treat horses right now, but I've started helping with some friends and family. I have the semi, and she's my babysitter. She watches my little boy for me every day while I'm at work, and she would have migraines, and every time I'd go and pick him up, she was like, I'm sorry, I just have a migraine, and all the lights would be off, and I was like, let me try something. And she had a brain tumor 8 years ago.
Wow.
And she had chemo and all that, and she tried medicine, everything, and she couldn't get rid of these migraines. Well, I treated her one time, and it took a little while for the migraine to go away. Well, eventually it did, and she was like, wow, it feels great. So I started treating her weekly, and every time she'd have a migraine, it would take less time for that migraine to go away.
That's wonderful.
And now I treat her and her mom. Her mom has a frozen shoulder. So I treat her and her mom, and her dad got in a car wreck, and he has a infused spine. So I treat them weekly now, and they've all been on medications and been through therapies and everything and could not feel better. And it's really cool to see close people to me affected by it. Like I said, I treat mostly horses, and they can't tell you thank you. They can't tell you, you know, that
their quality of life is better. Yeah.
Yes, but when you have a person that's crying and telling you, like, you have changed my life, that's, like, amazing.
Yeah. And most people, when they're at that point, like your babysitter was, where they have those migraine headaches and they've tried everything and it's not getting better, they're desperate. So they're willing to try things. Yeah. And I feel like that's when people come to us, because instead of it being the first thing they think of, it's the last thing. And we get to them and they're like, why didn't I find this 4 years ago when I started suffering? Why didn't I know about this then? So I think what you're doing, it speaks to, like, starting a business. You started with your babysitter, and then it's her mom, and then it's her dad, and then her dad's going to tell somebody else. And before you know it, just that one treatment that you did on her can, roll into having several more treatments and really helping build your business. Even if you are just doing horses, you can maybe get some extra humans on the side.
Yeah.
So have you had success with the horses? Any horse treatments that have been really, that have stood out for you?
The best treatment that I've had was, actually, a horse had scratches.
Okay.
And the person was trying to get it to heal, and it just kept coming back. And so I just started treating his legs, and I didn't do that long or that much. And then I would do a whole body treatment, and, like, they haven't fully healed. I just started. They haven't fully healed yet, but it has helped.
Yes. So it helped.
And
yeah. Go on.
And it's just, that's another person that has never heard of the company or the machine or anything like that, and they just saw me doing it and was like, well, I don't believe it's going to work, but we'll try it. And then they see it, and they're like, oh, wow. And then, a lot of people that have horses see you working on the horses. They're like, well, can that help me? Can you do this for me?
Yes. That's actually how we got started. My dad treated horses and he traveled everywhere. The machine was developed for humans. And like you said, people just didn't believe. It was hard to get past that placebo. And then he started treating horses, and horses don't have that. So it just took off like wildfire. And when people see their horse feeling better and relaxing and releasing and switching leads and all of that, then they automatically are like, okay, treat my shoulder. And as you know, every horse person has an issue. There is pain there somewhere if you're working with those animals. So it's inevitable that you'll be treating them. So how long have you had your machine?
Since July.
Okay, and is your goal to, you're working full-time, obviously, if you don't mind me asking, is your goal to continue working and doing this on the side, or are you looking to, make this a business for you?
I would like to make this my full-time job.
Yeah, right. And it takes time.
It's very rewarding.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does take time. Any small business owner will tell you it's 2 years before you even turn a profit. I mean, that's how it was, when we started. I think that's how it is in most small businesses. It takes time, but it sounds like you're investing the time. And if you keep doing what you're doing, then you're definitely going to be able to get to that point. Just demo, and treat people like you are. You're going to get those results. So do you like the semi machine?
Yeah, I love it. And I like how it's very portable and I can put it anywhere.
Yeah, it's easy to take everywhere. It's wonderful. Well, Brittany, I appreciate you letting me call you today and telling us your story. I want to send you something. Do you need clothing to wear for your business, like jacket, sweatshirt, something like that? Or I have some vests, t-shirts. I got these really cool Yeti-like mugs. I don't think they're actually Yetis, but very similar. So I can send you some stuff like that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Anything in particular that you need?
I mean, a jacket or vest or something would be great.
Okay. I will get something together for you, and our shipping manager will be in contact with you to make sure you get everything, and I really appreciate you calling and letting us call you today, Brittany.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for letting me be a part of this company because it's amazing.
Oh, that's very sweet. We're glad to have you. I will be in contact soon. Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you.
Bye. I just love hearing stuff like that. Everybody, you know, they're happy about what they're doing. I think before I worked here at Magna, I worked at a television station. I was a television producer for 6 years, and the content that I wrote about every day was horrible. It was depressing. It was, you know, shootings and car accidents, and every day I went home feeling depleted. And when I started working here with my dad, the difference was amazing because instead of covering the negative and talking about the negative all day, I actually had people like that calling me saying, this is changing my life. I'm happier, I'm healthier, and there really is nothing better. So if you are sitting there on the fence, or you know someone sitting there on the fence, like, push them over the fence and tell them to try the machine, because it really is worth your time to at least get one treatment. So our last caller is Jamie Dixon. Do we have any questions at all? I just don't want to miss anybody.
We might have one more if we have time.
Okay. Jamie. We can try her back if you have somebody else.
Actually, I got a written story.
Oh, okay, good. Am I going to read it?
Yep.
Your call.
Okay. Okay, so let's see. Who is this from?
Be at the top.
Okay, this isn't my phone. Oh, Taylor Parrish wrote in. She has some pictures too, so we will put those up in the comments for you guys to see. But so Taylor says, let's see. Okay, so she has a pug and a beagle mix after ACL surgery with Magna treatments. Is this the one you wanted me to read?
Yes.
Okay, so she had ACL surgery on June 10th. September 13th, a little over 3 months after surgery, video of Diva jumping onto porch. She's available to go for long walks, jump up small steps, and climb stairs, no problem. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. Like, she treated 4 times per week for the first month of treatments, and then 3 times a week for the second month, and 2 times per week for the third month. So, she was able to treat her dog and bring him back from ACL surgery really quickly. And we'll put those pictures. Oh my gosh, there's a picture of a baby with the dog. Oh my gosh. Oh, can't wait to share that. Oh, okay, Jamie wants us to call her back. Okay, and then we're going to put those pictures up for you guys to see. Taylor, thank you so much for sending that story in, because I think small animals is kind of a market that people don't think about when they're using this. They think horses or... did I dial the right number? Or humans, but your dogs and cats will love this too. Jamie?
Hello. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So I wanted to thank you for letting us call you today. I wanted to ask you some questions. Maybe start by telling us what machine you have.
Yeah, so I have the Pulse Pro machine.
Okay.
And I did a lot of research and selected that one, and I'm very happy with it.
Okay, and so tell us, do you have a business? Why did you buy the machine, and what are your goals with it now?
Okay, so I originally purchased the machine. My good barrel horse had fractured her pelvis, and so in the recovery process, I thought that this was probably the best therapeutic option that I could provide for her.
Yeah.
So I purchased the machine ultimately for her, but to add to my equine therapy business, as I also do equine sports massage. So
wow.
I've added it to my business, and it's just opened up a wide range of opportunities that I didn't even expect, because I was primarily focused on the equine aspect of it. But since getting the Magna, I have opened the opportunity and the doors to other livestock animals, and I've had a lot of success with the show industry as far as the beef, the bovine, the sheep. It's just opened up a lot of doors for opportunities that I wasn't expecting in the livestock industry, and also on the human aspect side of it.
Yeah, so you've gotten more treatment. So you've widened your horizon. I tell people that all the time. Even if you want to do this for horses or you want to do this just for humans, you should learn in the training. We cover all three, and small animals and humans and horses. It's important to do all three because you never know where this job is going to take you. This machine is going to take you down several roads. I got a quick question about bovine though, because I actually got this question yesterday from one of our practitioners, and my question is, what exactly are you treating at these shows, and what difference do you see after treating?
So a lot of it has to do with, I would say, soundness of the animal, the lameness aspect of it. Not necessarily that they were super lame, but it just helps in the overall quality of the movement, that when you get to these large livestock shows, any little thing they can pick apart can make a difference between winning the class and being, third or fourth. So it made a huge difference. Stepping aside, to this county fair, really nice show heifer, exceptional show heifer, but she was a little off in her stride. She wasn't reaching up underneath of her as much, and they knew going into the class that she probably wasn't going to win it. But after working on her, and it was a combination therapy between the Magna Wave and doing massage on her, she released. She was able to self-adjust herself, and her movement to be able to reach up underneath of herself and carry herself and have the flat top line was just a remarkable transformation. And so many people noticed it that now next year for the county fair, and this is a really tough county fair in the area that I'm in, they are planning on putting a group together, a day together, that the animals get worked on before the show, so then the kids can have the best performance that they can go out there with their animal. That's
wonderful. I didn't realize how much, I guess I was really ignorant to the fact of how big these county fair, these 4-H type shows are. These people, they spend a large amount of money on, they have pigs and, like you said, sheep and cows, and they travel all over the country, right?
Exactly. Just even step aside from that, my niece shows quarter horses, but she was more at the kind of the state level or local level, but she had goals and aspirations that even my sister and I never thought would be possible. She has an older mare that is navicular and arthritic, and because of the complications she has, they got her at a lot. She's not that $30,000 or $40,000 horse that you're going to see at the Quarter Horse Congress or the World Show and that. We paid next to nothing for her, but because of the Magna Wave, my 12-year-old niece was able to go to the Quarter Horse Congress here a month ago, and she placed 9th overall.
Wow.
All the judges in Hunter under saddle. And you're talking about horses that are in their prime, where we have a 19-year-old horse and every other horse is probably, 7, 8.
Wow.
And so because of the Magna Wave, she was able to hold her own up there, and we were just ecstatic about it.
How often do you treat that horse?
So she is at the trainers, and so she's probably a good hour and a half from me. So we focus a lot about, the week going into competition, and then every day during the competition, she gets treated, and then sometimes twice a day, we'll take that 10-hour break, or she'll get treated in the morning and then treated at night before she goes back into her stall. Yeah,
I've noticed that during those really long shows for either a human or anytime you're running and working out, or you're going to a weightlifting competition, or you're a horse in a horse show, that treating, the recovery aspect of it is crucial. If you can do these multi-day shows and you can treat in between your performances, then usually you're gonna end up better off, and because everyone else is going to be tired. The other horses are they're gonna wear down, where the horse and the human really don't. It really helps with that quick recovery, so it's almost like they didn't perform. And I've actually had a weightlifter who told me that he lifted lots of weight, hundreds of pounds, and he got off, and this is a big guy, and we treated him, and he said after he stood up after the 15-minute treatment, he goes, I don't even feel like I did the weightlifting this morning. So if it can make him feel like that, that's not something that a horse can verbalize to you, but that's kind of how I imagine the horses feel. They don't feel as though they've performed as much. Have you seen that with her horse?
Yeah, so just to even add on the stress aspects of going to a show, they're away from their home environment. They're gone for a couple weeks at a time. It's constant, like traffic down the aisles of the stalls, so they're not getting as rested. Then they're standing on concrete. Yeah, you'll put lots of bedding and shaving down, but standing on concrete alone can cause a lot of stress to the body that they're not used to. And so that's why we doubled up on some of those treatments, because I can tell you, even in my job, because my full-time job is in law enforcement and wearing my duty belt, if I stand very much, that duty belt just kills my back. Yeah. And so I Magna wave myself a lot, just because of the wear and tear of what my physical aspects of my everyday job is. But definitely, I think the stressors that we don't take into account, we think of inflammation or previous injuries that we might have already had, such as that Mary had navicular and she's arthritic and she's, just the aging, but it's just the environmental stressors alone that keeping the blood flow and the oxygenation of the blood, it just makes a tremendous difference.
It really does. And treating yourself is, even if you don't have something going on, like, you're not exhausted from work, keeping yourself treated and keeping that up really just, to me, even though I don't have any issues, it makes me feel better in the long run. I stay healthier, I recover faster, it helps me with my sleep. So there's a lot of things that I think people don't think about whenever they're looking at these machines. They think, oh, well, I have pain, I have this issue, I'm going to get a treatment, but there's a whole wide range of other things that you can treat for. What's your most amazing thing besides that horse? Is there any treatment that's really stood out for you?
So human-wise, probably the biggest one, and I just love, first of all, being able to make a difference in whether it's the animal's life and their quality of life, but also a person. So I really love working on people and then like their eyes lighting up and going, oh my gosh, like I just get instant relief. And sometimes it's periods of relief over several days, Yeah. So probably my biggest success story is I have a friend that, I went to high school with, and she has lupus. So she's my age. She's 38 years old. She's been on medication for 16 plus years due to her lupus. One medication out of pocket itself was $600+.
Whoa.
So I was treating her horse first with the Magna Wave, and one day she told me, Jamie, do you think this would help me? And I said, of course, this is what it does. It was made for people originally, and we talked about inflammation, which, lupus is kind of like arthritis. There's lots of inflammation and pain in the joints. She was not sleeping. She was only getting an hour or two at night where she would be able to sleep, and then she would wake up in pain, and she'd have to go take ibuprofen and melatonin, and she was really wanting to get off a lot of the medications because of the long-term side effects. Yeah. And so I treated her once, and she calls me the next day, and she's like, Jamie, I slept an entire night. Like, I can't believe I wasn't up every couple of hours and feeling like I had to pop medicine. So I treated her a couple more times, and she was like, I need this machine. And she's very, very smart. And so she did her research as well. Yeah. And now she can go 2 or 3 days between treatments. She's sleeping better. And just within a month of seeing her, like, I can just tell, like, her body is just, like, radiating as far as, like, she doesn't look as tired. She doesn't look as stressed. That's wonderful. And she's also got some other medical complications that are going on with degenerative macula. So we've been kind of looking at some of that stuff. And then the, I'm gonna say the name wrong, the 60, what are your drops that you guys have? The 60 something. Oh, drops. C60. Yes. So we've been looking into the research with that in coordination with the Magna Wave. Oh, that's incredible. To see if that will help her macular degeneration as well. She needs to get on the C60. I mean, it's been life-changing for my father. I mean, I think there's 2 things that have changed his life besides my presence. That would be the machine, which is why we do this, and then the C60. He was pre-diabetic. My mom likes to say he was pre-nothing. He was diabetic, even though he says he was pre-diabetic. And his cholesterol, everything was through the roof. He lost weight, and he went back in, and it was the same. So he started on the C60 when he met the guy who actually is the one who's started the C60 brand, and he has been on the drops every day. They're not cheap, but it has changed his life because he is not diabetic at all. He's completely off that medication. His cholesterol is down, and he didn't lose any weight at all between the next 2 doctor's appointments, and it changed everything. And I know they've had a huge amount of success with the macular
macular degeneration. I would treat her eyes, your friend. Like if you could put the butterfly loop up on her face, you could turn the machine down very low. You could treat her head and her eyes because that will also help as well.
I will definitely let her know. In fact, she had actually purchased a Pulse Pro, so she has her machine herself, so I will pass that information along. But just overall, in general, I'm so happy with the machine, what it's done for, my business aspect, but for me personally, and then even my family. I drive an hour sometimes just to go see my family to treat them for their various ailments, and so it's made a huge difference in their lives as
All right. Well, when you're with your family, next time, make sure you put your machine up there and take a picture with everybody, and then use the hashtag MagnaWaveFamily, because we're giving away an attachment to, we're going to pick a random person. So go to Thanksgiving, take a big photo. But do you have an update on a horse with a pelvic injury?
So, unfortunately, the Merrill mare that I did purchase the MagnaWave for, she ultimately had to be put down. She ended up fracturing her other side as well.
Oh.
The success rate is about an 80 to 90% full comeback. We went 2 months, and then we battled cellulitis. We thought we had founder coming on, and I truly think there was maybe a little bit of mixed diagnosis. We've been kind of battling EPM, and I truly believe that EPM is what had caused the muscles around her pelvis to weaken, because I noticed for the last year that she would stand with her back right leg stretched out.
Oh.
We looked at stifles, we had treated for some different things. I finally, Dr. Brunk in Grand Island, Nebraska, we used his EPM treatment, and it was just such a difference in her attitude, her behavior, her performance, that I thought, wow, we are ready to rock and roll again. She was a 1D mare. And then I think she just felt so much better after that specific treatment that, she got to running and playing, and she ended up fracturing her pelvis. And she did really respond very well to the 3 times that I got to MagnaWave her with it, because I had just bought in my machine. I just finished my certifications on it when I ended up having to put her down, but she did respond very well. I think that it gave her a lot of comfort, relieve some of the inflammation and the pain while she was going through that.
Yeah, and sometimes there's just things that happen that are, things can be too far gone, and you have an uphill battle. But I'm glad that you decided to keep the machine and that you've had such success with it. Now, you said you're in law enforcement. Are you doing this job full time? Are you wanting to transition to doing MagnaWave full time, or are you wanting to stay in your job and just do this part time for now?
So ultimately, I would like to open a full-blown equine therapy facility incorporating the MagnaWave and some other options. I would love to do this full-time. Unfortunately, I'm so far vested in my career that I'm probably going to see it out until retirement unless something opens up the door. But truly, I have my passion with my people with my job in law enforcement, but I feel like where I shine and where I'm at my peaceful, my calmness is when I'm out working on animals. So
that's wonderful.
I just truly loved having the MagnaWave and being able to work on different animals and having it at that time. Like, it doesn't even feel like it's a job because I truly enjoy it. Yeah,
there's nothing better than having something you love to do that also makes you money. That is, I don't think there's anything in the world that's better than that. And you get rewarding of people who feel better and animals that feel better. Well, Jamie, I really appreciate you letting us call you today. Do you have anything that you need? I'm going to send you some swag, some MagnaWave swag for letting us call you just to say thank you. We have jackets and vests, and I got some of these cool Yeti-like mugs. I could send you anything like that.
A jacket would be awesome.
Okay.
We're in Kansas, so we're kind of in the cool weather moments.
It's cold. It's cold. It's cold here, too. It snowed the other day, and I immediately wanted to go to Florida.
Yes, me too.
Well, Jamie, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, definitely. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too. We got Lila Eldridge. Okay, we're going to call Lila. I want to say the same. I talked to a lot of people who are massage therapists, like equine massage therapists, like Jamie and some other people that we've talked to today. And a lot of times equine massage therapists may think that we are, it's a competition, like using the MagnaWave and using the massage. But in reality, they work so well together that it's actually very complementary. So using the machines definitely doesn't take away the need for massage, and massage definitely doesn't take away the need for the machines, but when they work together, you get twice the benefit. So we're gonna call Lila.
Hello.
Hi, Lila.
Hi, Eileen.
Am I saying your name right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So, tell me a little bit about, what machine you have, and what your big successes have been.
Okay. I purchased the Semi.
Okay.
I purchased it in September and I got it early October. And I work on mostly horses, but I have worked on my family's dogs and my family in general, and I have a couple other people clients. But I mostly work on horses, and I feel like my biggest success story so far since I've had my machine is my sister is a 3-day eventer, and she runs our equestrian facility with my mom in Maine, and she has a couple horses they all have their individual issues, of course, and she has one horse that has the head shaking disease where her TMJ nerve she's basically been not being able to ride her in the wintertime because the cold is what triggers it.
Yeah.
And ever since I started working on her with the machine, it hasn't gone away, but it has improved immensely, and especially the snow and the cold has triggered it, and even on her worst days she is better, and she can now come up to the barn and she doesn't do any head shaking whatsoever. I have to say she's the biggest success.
Wow.
I do have another horse that he can't rotate his right hip very well, and ever since I've started working on him, his range of motion has improved so much, and also he has a lot of issues with ulcers, and I've been treating him for ulcers, and he already is just like 10 times different as a horse.
That's wonderful. I remember talking to you when you were first looking for a machine because I remember that your mom had the training facility in Maine, or correct? And so you travel,
Yep.
correct? Where do you travel? You travel from Maine to Florida, or do you stay in Maine?
So because I just bought my machine, I'm obviously just, in the beginning stages of it is a business for me now. I'm in the beginning stages. I've treated our barn, and I've treated another barn in Dover, Foxcroft, Maine, and I'm also looking to, my other sister lives in the North Carolina area, and I might go visit her, and I already have a couple people have reached out to me because I used to work in North Carolina about treating their horses, like when I go to visit, but I mostly I'm trying to expand my business throughout the New England area.
Great. And how's it going? I mean, obviously it takes time to build a business, but have you found that, getting some treatments helps get more treatments, or what have you, is your biggest hurdle right now, you think?
So I feel very successful. I feel like I've gotten nothing but positive feedback from all of my clients. It's so rewarding to go treat a horse that the owner says they have this problem and this problem, and they give you a couple huge releases, and then, you get those messages that say, you've done this, or I can't believe the turnaround. Just the feedback that I've been getting. I feel like I've been getting a lot more clients, referrals, because of just purely of word of mouth. I just created a website recently, but I feel like my biggest hurdle is just, getting up and going, but it is growing faster than I would have ever imagined, basically.
Yeah, I think word of mouth is really important. I mean, when we started, I think my dad was on word of mouth for the first 8 years, and that, just because there is nothing more powerful than having somebody say, it worked for me, or it worked for my animal, it's going to work for you too. So I really, really appreciate. Have you treated yourself?
Yes, I don't have any chronic illnesses or anything, but I like to treat myself just because I just went and did a barn actually 2 weeks ago, I believe, and I did 7 horses, and I was very sore after that, so I treated myself. I feel like I put everybody before treating myself, but when I do, it's I forget how much I like it even, but I love it.
It's always like the cobbler's kids never have shoes because they're so busy making shoes. And same thing happens at here. I'm complaining, running around about a headache, and everybody's like, go sit on the machine. I'm like, oh, I do need to do that. But that's wonderful. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you've had such good success, and everything is so rewarding, and you've only had the machine, 2 months maybe? So
that's correct.
That's wonderful. So I want to send you some stuff. Do you want a jacket or a vest, maybe some type of Cool Yeti thing? I know I've said that 30 times. But
can I can I get a vest?
Yes, you can. Okay, Jackie in our shipping manager will be in touch. Make sure we ship it to you. And don't forget to take a picture of yourself with your family in the machine and then use the hashtag MagnaWaveFamily because I'm giving away an attachment. We're going to pick one of those pictures randomly. So make sure you put it on there. Plus, it's just great to treat your family.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Thank you so much, Lila.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, do we have any other questions? Well, I just wanted to hit on really quickly today while we have this webinar is that, there's a lot of, things that happen when you're building a business. Today, obviously, we heard a lot of positive things. These people, we sent out a call for people to, sign up to let us talk to them today. And everyone that we talked to today responded and said they wanted to tell their story. It's not always that easy when you start a business. When you start a small business, marketing yourself is probably the number one thing you could do. You cannot buy a tanning bed and put it in your living room and expect people to know to come tan. So I say that a lot. You can't just buy a MagnaWave, put it in your living room and expect people to know to come get a MagnaWave treatment. So what we do here at MagnaWave is we really try to train you, we try to educate you, and we try to offer those marketing services. So if you're a practitioner and you're struggling or you have questions or you want to really build your business, we have a lot of resources here. So don't, hesitate to reach out. Besides these webinars that we're doing, my father and I, we also have a ton of educational videos that we've added to the certification recently that go through tips and tricks for social media, your website, stuff like that you really should know when you're starting a business. So if you're thinking about getting a machine, we really are here to support you. This isn't going to be something where you're on your own. You buy a machine from us and we're gone. We have no intention of going anywhere. My daughter will run this company one day. Little does she know. But I really want everybody to feel like they're supported because it is a journey. And when you're successful, we're successful. So if you ever have any questions, our phone number is 502-742-7868. Again, that number is 502-742-7868. You can also go to MagnaWavePEMF.com and chat in with us. We'd be happy to talk there or fill out the contact us form. We'll get you to where you need to go. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions. And again, go take your machine if you're a practitioner. Take it to Thanksgiving dinner, take a picture, smile with your family and the machine there, and use the hashtag MagnaWaveFamily. All one word, hashtag MagnaWaveFamily. Put it on Instagram, Facebook. We are going to pull all of those together and pick a winner. If you go to our website, MagnaWavePMF.com, all of the people who are using that hashtag are actually on the social media board on our website. So you will, your post will go right there on our website for everybody to see. And then we will select a winner out of those. So make sure you spread the good word of MagnaWave. And in for doing that, we will pick a winner and they will win an attachment of your choice. So if there's something that you're really wanting, make sure you take that picture. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.